it seems that my video stream was in a loop. I was uploading a video and yeah, it made the video stream go kind of wacky. Well, hopefully everything's alright now because the video the video upload's finished, so I must avoid that. Now, just for curiosity, my daughter gave me these. They're actually magnetite magnets. They're actually kind of nice. But they're not very strong. I think I'll stick with neodymiums. Okay, right, well, I haven't got any more iron for the other one cut, so I thought, hang on a minute, I think I've got some little yeah, pieces I cut off of the 3mm bar, so I thought, hang on a minute, there's just the right length as well, about 20 millimeters. So I'm using 4 of these for the other polarity, just to test it out. Well, actually I've got the ones that are in there, they're a bit shorter than 20 millimeters, but well, they'll do for this test process. So at the moment I've got 4, until I can't hacksaw this time of the night, it's pretty late. So at the moment I've got my iron core in here, right? And I've got 4 of the 3mm mild steel bars at the end of these magnets on this end, and I've put another 3 magnets in. So basically I've got a balance here. I've got north and I've got south. So basically what we have is we have south on the outside, north on the inside, south on the inside, and north on the outside of these, just these 2 here. As I say, this is just a test. You know, I'm not testing the inside core because we already know that works, right? Because that was basically how my previous designs all were working, was with the center function, and this is a smaller aperture, so it's a smaller radius. And that I'm sure is going to be fine. So what I'm testing right now is my laminations on half of the perimeter to test the actuation and switching and to see if it works well. And it does. I haven't seen any problems. I've now got 3 laminations on one side, and 3 laminations seems to be pretty good. I don't know if I'll need 4, but if I do, I'll have to add the 4th one to the outside, because when I keep adding them to the inside, the distance gets smaller and smaller, and the laminations actually get longer, and I'm going to overlap into the next section, which is for the other laminations that go on the other side. So I've got to be careful I don't go any more. As it is, looking at the where this one comes to, the halfway point, it's just right. That's the halfway point, right? This part here, right down the middle. Look at that. I'll just get my light on it a bit. That is the halfway point where my nail file is. We're right smack bang in the middle there. So I can't put any more laminations on the inside because I'll cross over that threshold at halfway point. But I can put an extra couple of laminations if I choose to on the outside, and that's fine, because my actual this is my diagram. Oh, it's got stuck down now. I don't know what's holding it down. I must have melted it to the towel. Yeah, I spilled some acetone on it. Right, the halfway point, right down the middle, is, oh, I've got bloody lamps in the way now. I can't believe this. The halfway point is right down the middle here, right? So the laminations that go on this side will be just right, and they'll actually meet in the middle, basically. About here and about here. and I've been doing some little tests. Now I'm going to get my magnets and my everything's sticking to everything. Right, that's south, right? Now look at the amount of gain we have there. Now that's because it's directly coupled to the magnet, right? But I'm not interested in gain at this point. What we're interested in is isolating the lens effect. Right. The lens effect is when you apply a magnetic field from a rotor to a coil. As the coil draws voltage from the magnetic field, it induces an opposite counteractive force which slows the rotor down. Now we all know about this because this is how motors work, because you apply a voltage to a coil and it pushes the magnet away, and that's what you have. But this system here can't work like that, because you see, if you applied a voltage to the coil, right, if you did that to try to create momentum, if you actually applied voltage to a coil, what you're actually doing is you're pushing and pulling at the same time, so the rotor wouldn't move, right, basically. Because you'd be inducing let's just get a bobbin, hang on. I'll use one with a coil on it, actually. I'm going to use one of the earlier bobbins just for aesthetic appearances. Now imagine we have a coil, right, and normally this coil is going to be generating power actually, but we're going to reverse the scenario and pretend that we want to move the rotor. Now what happens if we energize the coil? What happens is the coil would induce a magnetic field into the cores. Right, I'll move it out of the way because I don't want to drop it. And it would be pushing and pulling on the magnets at the same time. So what would happen? Well, basically nothing would happen, because the rotor wouldn't see that field, because the concentric magnets would cancel it out. So you wouldn't get momentum. Now this is exactly how this concentric works, because you reverse it, flip it 180 degrees, and we now have a rotor magnet. We have three actually on the rotor, which is two of, say, the neutral polarity and one of the positive polarity, right? So we have the opposite here. So we're going to bias the outside concentric, and what we have is one magnet is turned on south and it's pushing, the other magnet is turned on, it's sticking a bit north and it's pulling, right? So basically that's cancelled out, but it's going to generate power because this one is actually off at the moment. Well, mostly off, but it wouldn't be off if it was being pushed by the coil, because the coil would be pushing the field out the other side and pulling this one in. So this one is these cars on the bottom. I'll just put it this way up because gravity is a bit of a problem. I'm sticking to the sides of the magnets as well, and it's a bit of annoying. Right, the amount of pull I've got on there is very, very small, but that one is strong. Now if I was to put this right in the middle, put my screwdriver on the piece of paper, put it right smack in the middle there. Now this is turned on, right? I'm going to come at this. Where's my thingy jig? That's right in the middle, right? I'm going to come at this from the centre. Now look what happens. The screwdriver sticks to that iron because that's on. The other one's off. Now I'm going to flip the field. I'm going to swap the magnets round. Come off, you bugger. Now I'm going to flip them around. Now they're flipped. Now we're going to do exactly the same thing. The field polarity has changed now. That is the middle. Put it on the paper. I'm going to come towards this screwdriver. This is plastic, by the way. I'm going to come towards it now. Watch what happens. See, it goes to that one now, because that one is on. Come at it again. right down the middle, because I'm using this as a line to follow. Watch what happens. It goes to that one, because that one's on now. Now we'll flip them again. I'm doing it simplified, so that's right in the middle, that's the middle, come at it again. Now it goes to that one, because that one's on and that one's off. Right, this is ordinary screwdriver, nothing else. And I'm using a screwdriver simply because my gauge is only biased for, it's only set for south, it's not set for north. So, but that one is south, that one is north, and you can see north is actually off right now. That one's on, that one's off. Now, but because that one's off and that one's on, now at the same time that this core is on, which is south, right? The center concentric would be north. So we would have our AC field. We would have our AC field. We have one polarization on the outside. We have another polarization on the inside. I'll get the proper bobbin actually. Right, there's no wire on this bobbin, but it's got the multi-cores, right? The 12 cores in the center, and it's going to have the 12 cores on the outside as well. So the 12 cores in the center will run all the way through to the middle concentric, and the 12 cores on the outside will run all the way through to the actuation on the outside of the perimeter of the switch. I need something a bit longer than my screwdriver. I know what I can use. I'll get a file. Right, it's the right size to go through these. Now these will, the magnet's still stuck on it. These cores, when I get them sorted out, will go all the way through the outside of the bobbin, which will be the opposite pole, and will be coupled to the iron, which is being switched in here. It's stuck to that already actually. And we'll have 12 cores on the outside, 12 cores on the inside. The cores that are actually turned on, there will be 6 cores, only 6 cores will be on at any one time on the outside, and only 6 cores on the inside will be on at any one time, because 6 cores on the outside will be north and 6 cores will be south. So either north or south cores will be on, and in the middle only north or south cores will be on. So we have our AC, and it's an open-ended transformer. Open-ended because a normal transformer, you have your E's. I don't know if I can do it on my hands. You have your E's. Oh, like this. No, I can't do it with my fingers. Let's see. I'm not Mr. Spock. Let me put it that way. We have our E's, right, on an normal transformer, and it's closed. It's a closed system, right? Well, this is open-ended because we're actuating the end that's open with the magnets. So basically, this is not really a generator. Not technically. Technically, it's not really a generator because it's actually an active transformer. It's an actuated transformer, actuated by rotation. Anyway, maybe that explains it a little bit more clearly. But obviously on the back, on this end, all the cores are going to be coming through, right? And they're going to be capped off with a big steel washer, basically like that, which gives us our return on the other side, so that we'll have north coming through the washer to the south and return back to the top. That's why I'm saying it's a transformer. It is actually a transformer, but I suppose transformer, generator, whatever. Anyway, it's slow progress right now because everything's happening at once. My mum's back in hospital again. She's been out of hospital, just a week, and she's back in again because she's having pain, very bad pain in her stomach. So paramedics came, and it's not a good week. It's not easy when you can't get on with stress from other incidents that happen, but yeah, anyway, I've got enough problems on my plate right now. So anyway, you get the idea. This is coming along. Now I could pack all these 3 cores and things, but that's not going to be balanced properly. These cores need to be all exactly the same to be ideally balanced. So I'm not going to start. I only stuck these 4 little pieces of iron in there just as a test for now. But I have more to cut yet, and I could put the rest of the laminations on tonight. I don't suppose that would be a problem. I could put them on because these cores and these magnets can be easily popped out, just like that. I can access them from the back, you see. Now if you look, if I pop these out, I don't need to pop them out, if I put a backlight on them, you'll see the iron. I've got a backlight on it, but that's probably too bright. Let's see if I can get the light on it properly. It's a bit bright actually. Too bright. Well, basically you can see the iron that we're coupling to on the edge perimeter where the iron is. We can see the iron on the topmost section of the magnet slots, which is the laminations. Actually, there's too much light. Just a minute. I'll put a piece of paper on it. That might help. Yeah, I think that helps a bit. Stupid thing. Why can't these preview windows are stupid? You can't make them bigger by double clicking, and I don't like that. Right, okay. Just irons starts around here. It goes around to about here. Actually, there's still. Which side? That's the iron side. Yeah, you can just about see actually. Yeah, got the angle better there. You can actually see my lamination showing through there between here, all the way around to here. Just about see, and it's right on the edge actually, it's right around the edge. I need it on the edge to be effective. It's not a good idea to try pushing the actual magnet, the magnet itself. That wouldn't work too well. So that's why I've got the iron on there. And I'll probably stop this video, this live stream, because it'll save me editing it, and I'll probably upload this onto YouTube a bit later on, because videos on live stream are only there for about 30 days, and then if they're not viewed many times they get deleted. Now that's YouTube's free policy, free account policy. So if you have a free live stream account and nobody comes and watches the streams, say goodbye to them, because you will never see them ever again. So good thing I've stored them on the hard drive. I mind you, I've deleted a lot recently, but so anyway, the ball bearing's stuck in there and it sits perfectly in that design that I made, and that's exactly in the right position because I mapped this all out. There's a little, you can't really see it, but there's a circle here and there's a circle here on my plan, and these line up perfectly with my rotor. I think I've showed it earlier. The 12 this is a 6 one, but the 12 one, I've got this upside down. The 12 rotor system, 12 magnet rotor system, that's why these I hope these magnets are not going to get broken. Everything's flying around. Good thing I put steel washers on the end of my magnets, it protects them from fracturing, in case you, if you want to protect your neodymiums, I suggest you put steel washers on, because they're mild steel and they're a lot softer than neodymium, and if you crash anything you're going to protect your magnets. Just a little tip. I've tried foam rubber and it gets squished and compressed until it's no longer much use, so the steel washers are actually pretty good for doing that. Anyway, as you can see from this, that's actually a better one, because that's where I drew the next magnet, the middle magnet that goes on the center concentric. Actually, I did a little red line. It's not, doesn't go all the way around. Let me just, where's my red pen gone? Oh, I don't believe it. My red pen has vanished. Oh, I can't even get up now. My legs have seized up. It's got to be around, oh there it is, I found it, right on the nose end. Right, okay, so the red, I'm just going to draw around where this other magnet would be, because this disc it's broken, big chunk missing out of it. I had to disassemble it and remove my magnets, and it broke because it was super glued together. But you can see that basically we would have north over here, south here, north there, and it would rotate. Then we would have south over here, north here, and south here. This is as the disc would rotate, and that's obviously rotating over these ball bearing couplers. I'm mostly making this video for Z actually, because I've sent him some of my concentrics, because I know he loves magnets, and just like me, and there's not many people who want to do this kind of stuff anyway. Everyone's working on gas these days. I don't need that because I've got enough gas of my own. So anyway, so you get the idea, and so the next stage is the other side, and I'm thinking about doing that tomorrow, to be honest, because well, I'm not ready. I haven't got any more. I haven't cut any more of these cores yet, and these little steel things that are wedged in there, they were such a job to get them in. I know I can get them out easy enough. It's just that it was a tight squeeze. Literally, it was perfect fit. I mean, my design of these concentrics was bang on, like literally. I mean, these things are so tightly packed in there, I don't even need to super glue them. On this side, that is. And these are nice tight fit as well. But I'll move this out of the way before I drop it, because I've got two of them ready. Well, oh God, I can't believe this. Everything's sticking to it. I've got 3 bobbins now. Now, when I was making the bobbins, I had a problem because the which one was it? One of them was cockeyed. That's not that one, that's the good one. I've got 2 good ones and 1 cockeyed one. And these are ready for winding. The coil on. That one, for some reason, is a little bit shorter than that one, and I don't know why, but I think it's because I put the casting of the end on there separately. That's something I'm not happy about either. If you put them side by side, there's actually, you can actually put my nail file underneath. This one's a little bit shorter than that, and that's another thing. Problems. It actually goes underneath that one. These two are the same height, but this one's the one that's got a cockeyed core, but it might not be a big issue, but I still don't like the fact that the core's out of alignment, because it can cause my actual laminations to be bent, and that can cause all sorts of strange things. Yeah, but no biggie. I don't suppose that matters too much, because the one that's shorter, I'll just put some spacing on the inside so that the coils are exactly the same, and that should be fine. So those 2 are what we're going to be using for the generator coils, and that one hasn't finished. I haven't finished sanding that one down yet. Even it wants a bit more sanding around the rim, because the rims are actually, if you look, that one rim's narrower than that one. That's because this one hasn't been finished yet. It's got a little bit more work to be done on it, and then it'll be ready. So, I don't know what else to say really right now. But we've come quite a long way, actually. Remember my pyramid bobbins? This is another one that I had it in the mould. Now, there's a big difference between my pyramid bobbins and these new multi-core bobbins. The pyramid bobbin had single core. The multi-core bobbins have 12 cores. Well, actually 24, because there's 12 in the middle and there's 12 on the outside, so there's actually 24 cores in there really. So I thought I'd show you a comparison between how we've evolved the bobbins, and my daughter loves them. She thinks they're really cute. She actually came up today because it's her birthday, and guess what? I actually gave her one of my mold, the one that came out really wonky and cockeyed. It looks really shiny. I actually gave her it as a birthday present, because I thought, well, I haven't got anything for her birthday, and she really loves it. Actually, she's going to put a pendant. She's going to turn it into a pendant and wear it around her neck. I think, oh, that's fine. You know, I mean, it's just not sticky anymore. It's nice and dry. It's been in the sun. It's actually been on the windowsill in the sun for about several weeks now. So it's well and truly cured now, and she just loves it. She loves the colour. as well. Anyway, I'm going to put these away because I don't want to knock them off the table. I have a tendency to walk past the table and things catch on and then things go flying off onto the floor and get broken, so that one doesn't need to be here either. And I'm very optimistic. I am even more optimistic now that this is going to be a success and not a flop. You know, I mean, as in success, I mean, my expectations are that I'll be getting something in the region of 6 to 9 volts at least, instead of a pitiful 2 volts, which is about, well, I've been getting about 1.9, 1.8 volts out of each coil on the existing design, the one that's across the room. And with this return field, because you've got to remember something, the actual gain, we're going from 6 cores, right? We're going from 6 cores over there to 12 cores in the middle, and we're actually having 12 cores on the outside, so that's 24 cores. We're actually multiplying our amplification by a factor of about 4, is it? Hang on. 6 so times 2, that's 12. Yeah, we'll be amplifying them about 4 or 5 times actually, because we're also not just using the middle, we're using the same magnets for the outside as well as the inside, so the magnets will be utilised 3 neodymiums, 3 20 by 5 by 3 millimeter neodymiums in each slot. We'll be actuating the inside and the outside at the same time. So it will be a big improvement. Because the other aspect is I've narrowed this centre part, because I noticed that when I actually made the concentric 8, the hole was too big. It's way too big because my magnets are only 20 millimeters, and I was trying to actuate this small space in the middle, which was a huge space actually, with a 20 millimeter magnet, and it just didn't work. So that having this much narrower space, I'll show you what I mean, is ideal because it's the same diameter as my neodymiums. If I put the neodymiums in the middle, you'll see what I mean. They're a close match. So the 20 millimeter spacing, the 20 millimeter aperture, or well, it's actually a little bit more, it's about 23, is perfect for the size of the magnets that's going to be actuating them. So everything's coming together. Anyway, that's it for now. 34 minutes, that'll do for a YouTube video.